Hey guys, all the accident attorney sites are up with phone numbers. The alcohol, drug, and abuse rehab sites are up with phone numbers, and I'll attach forwarding phone numbers as soon as calls start coming in, which will happen shortly after we do all the cross-linking. So I want to walk you through a handful of things all at once because I'm going to make you an offer that you're not going to want to refuse for those that want to go bigger. How would you like to jump from one county to nationwide and share in the pot? Because we've got somebody about to bring in 100 websites of their own, and the backlinking power that it gives us is huge, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that in terms of the keyword difficulty and the potential and how we make that work. So let me start by first making this point. So on our tools, okay, we had this whole cross-link website content, so I can put a bunch of websites in here, say all for the same industry, and then I can say cross-link, one submit button, right? And it'll look at all the page names, and it'll look through all the paragraphs for matching print, and it'll match links to the page names of the other sites. It's the cross-linking. That way we're creating backlinking for a ton of websites. It's close but not perfect because it'll create some reciprocal linking, especially as we create more and more pages. You're going to have websites linking to each other, and we don't want that, or websites linking like in a triangle this way. We don't want anything that causes infinite loops for the bots, because that just sort of says, okay, that'll anchor you where you are, but it doesn't increase your rank. It just simply says you're important to each other and you're important to the masses, but that's different than individual votes, right? So I'm going to split this into two boxes. That way I can have box one, box two. I can say, here are the websites, check out all the page names now. Here are the websites that we're going to backlink into them, okay? So go ahead and use these websites to create links into those websites, okay? And any one of these websites could put links to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 different websites from the other list, okay? Then what do? I take these websites and move them over here and put a whole new list of the next batch of websites over here. Say I'm doing this 10 at a time, like 10 and 10, and then switch it for 10, and this is the next 10 coming in. These are now going to backlink through here. Then move those over, put in more, and have these backlink through here. Wow, so we're creating layered backlinking to make all these websites more and more powerful as they get layers of backlinks through them, right? The websites that will not show up for anything will be the bottom layer because it has no backlinks, but it will provide power to the row above it, which provides power to the row above it. So these keywords can show up for more keyword difficulty, these for even more, these for even more, okay? Now, what you want is a lot of power at the top for several websites anyway, so that you can have multiple front page results, okay? Now, that's cool because then I can also take the final stack. I can put like the top websites here, and I can take all 100 that are left over outside of the 10, for example. I'm just using round numbers. Between the accident attorney sites we have now and the new ones coming on, it's way more than that. But anyway, these can all backlink these at the top layer, so to speak. So that's where we're saying we want 10 websites to show up for as many of the keywords as possible in any given stack. Now I'm simplifying the explanation. I might want 10 to show up in the Albuquerque area and the North Virginia area and the Birmingham area. I can have another 10 take on like Denver and San Francisco and stuff. There's different reasons I can do that. And so some of that is just push and then watch and then pull and then push and then watch and then pull. So rearrange it until it's perfect, right, is the idea. Now, it's not going to be hard to do. I'll show you why. So let me come back to this thing. What does no one know and what does everyone want to know about how to rank? Everyone goes, hey, Dave, I got a website, tried to rank for these keywords, didn't happen. Other guys say, hey, Dave, I got a website and I made it rank. And the questions are, what makes one website rank and not another? 99.9% of the time, if you have a website out there and you do not get any backlinks into it, it cannot rank for basically anything. What about a keyword difficulty of 0? Keyword difficulty runs from easiest to rank to hardest to rank, 0 to 100. Well, no keyword difficulty or a keyword of 0 means that Google is like totally agnostic what shows up there, right? It kind of means that maybe you build content that's really good for it or not, but Google's barely caring for your placement in that position. You could win it. Usually You're not going to stay stable, though. You kind of roll up, you roll down, and you'll never know why. You want to anchor yourself down, you start creating some backlinks, preferably from other quality websites that are pointing in at you. For those of you that think you have to get backlinks from high authority sites, it can help. But a backlink from Yelp is coming off the new page you created on Yelp. Yelp may have a domain authority of 85, but the new page that you just created has a domain authority, well, a page authority of nothing at all, right? Now you have to create backlinks to that page, in essence. It's a very small thing. So it's better to create whole websites because they get their own juice and they can share that juice. Every page you create creates juice, and then you can share some of that juice. So we create a lot of juice and then organize how it flows. So now let me go kind of back and forth, and I'll make this visually obvious. Actually, I'm trying to do this in a way that makes sense. So if you start, you're saying car accident attorney, and you go, wow, man, there's a bunch of keywords that span the nation. This is why I'm talking about nationwide, because we're going to take a bunch of websites, make them work for nationwide purposes, and we're going to use tons of websites to backlink up into them with these desirable keywords in certain orders, certain ways. I'll show you soon. But take a look. This one's getting 190 hits a month, 150 hits a month, 510 hits a month, 155, 4,000 for this one. Okay, and so and that's car accident attorney near me. So if we're just pointing car accident attorney links at a bunch of websites, and even just backlinks to websites that are clearly car accident attorney websites, what happens is we just start winning a ton of that in different areas anyway. And the higher our keyword difficulty is for those given areas, the better we do. Okay, so I want to make that point now. Everyone's like, wow, well, with all these keywords, there are 182. Together, they get over 58,300 hits a month, which I thought was insane till I went and dug into some of this. I couldn't believe this at all. Take a look at this. This is crazy. Car accident attorney in Indiana. I was thinking, well, why even do it for the whole of Indiana? There's like over 14,000 searches for that. Thinking, but that's like a whole state. Well, many of them that show up anyway is Indianapolis. It's like Indianapolis, okay? It just goes on and on, Indianapolis. Now, that's a capital. Maybe that's just kind of what happened there. But there are people paying for links there. That's true. But there were a ton of freaking, so it was like 14,000, or what, 14, I forget the number, but take a look at this. This blew my mind. How many car accidents per month in Indianapolis I put, but take a look. How many car accidents are in Indiana? Okay. There were 209,909 crashes in the Hoosier State in 2021, which is a worrying 14.38% increase over 2020. The number of fatal accidents increased to 824 in 2021. And injuries rose to over 30,000 in Indiana for the year. For the year. So when I'm seeing searches for like car accident attorney in Indiana, and it's got like 14,000 hits a month, it's like, are you kidding me? It's very real. First of all, I'm blown away by the potential. Now, this is true in a lot of places. Believe me, Indiana's not to be singled out for this at all. But here's the thing that no one gets. It was like, well, let's rank for the keywords. Great, let's do that. What is keyword difficulty? It means that you need about 1.5 times as many websites with links to you as the keyword difficulty you want to rank for. Okay? So I'm going to try to go back and forth on this and make this make sense. So the thing that looks easy is rank for these keywords. The thing that we don't see is the keyword difficulty. We got to see it. Keyword difficulty. So if this one's 22, it means we need basically 33 websites pointing at us, right, in order to rank for this. So we need 33 accident attorney-ish or accident insurance-ish or car insurance-ish websites linking to us, okay, 33, to be a player in this game, to be one of the top 10 results, okay? Now, one thing I want to point out, you could use those underlying websites that are pointing up at you to make you rank, you can use them to point at another site to make it rank 2, and another site to make it rank 2. In other words, don't just be one of the results on the front page, be as many as you can, because it greatly affects your income, right? So let me try to go back and forth on this. First thing I want to point out is this: keyword difficulty of 0. Say you were trying to rank for keywords where you don't need any backlinks, and you're assuming if it's a keyword difficulty of 0, at least I can rank for those. Let's start with that, okay? There are none. None at all. All right? So you're like, okay, what if I get like a 3 stack and I go for a keyword difficulty of like 2, and I'm going to have backlinks from 3 websites? Oh, nothing. Okay, what if I guess I got to go higher. What if I get 10 websites, I'm going to get a keyword difficulty of like 6 or 7, right? Nothing. Okay, what if I want to go for 15 websites, backlinking me so I can get like a keyword difficulty of 10? Nothing, right? This is going to change sooner or later. Now, before I continue going down this path, I want to switch topics. Okay, I need to tie these together so you can see them. Say you're trying to rank for some keyword, okay? Whatever the keyword difficulty is, you're trying to get there. Let's say you do. Okay, you're somewhere on the front page. You're in one of the top 10 organic positions, right? On the front page, okay? Say there are like 65 total hits a month, okay? Don't ask me where I came up with the numbers, but I was doing math and this became just a leverage point. And I said, okay, 65 people visit the keyword and you're on the front page. Does that mean that you get seen by 65 people? Well, your listing does on the front page if they scroll up or down far enough to see you, or if they're glancing around and something else catches their eye first, maybe they don't see you, but you're there. You're visible. The opportunity's there if they're looking. Okay. Now, about 13% of the people are going to click on a pay-per-click ad at the top. I've had a lot of people ask, why is that, Dave? It's because some keywords, some demographics are meant to, they're transactional at the time. When people are doing the search, they're ready to buy. It looks like a commodity to them, whoever they buy from. But that means they're not really serious about the result. Do you think if you're going to choose a car accident attorney that you're just going to click on the first smiley face? No. I mean, if you do, you're probably still going to window shop, right? You're going to ask them about themselves. You're going to click on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smiley faces before you choose one of those guys. So 4 or 5 of those guys are going to lose the value of the click. They're going to pay per the click, but they didn't get the deal. Okay, so that's expensive for them depending on the keyword or the cost of the click. Anyway, if you do rounds, the highest PPC gets on most keywords is about 19%. Believe it or not, people like to scroll down and check out the informational results, and that is the other demographic anyway. The guys who are like, okay, I know where I'm at, but I'm not ready to buy. I want to read a little more first. Most people want to read a little more. If you're going to buy a laptop, don't you want to read a little? Don't you want to pick up on the reviews and stuff? Don't you scroll down? Or do you just click the first ad for the cheapest laptop and buy it? What about a bicycle? Would you just click the first ad? The only time you're clicking the ads is when you know what you're looking for. You already did the review. You were already down in the information area reading on stuff. And you're like, now I know what I want to buy, is a simple way of putting it. Maybe you were on YouTube and you came across. But a lot of people do like to read up on stuff before they make a decision. Okay, so about 13%, let's just assume, okay, low end of the clicks is somewhere around like 10 or so. So I'm being kind of generous here, 13%. Now let's say about 2% click on the maps. Not many people click on the maps. Single moms with young children looking for a daycare. Distance matters. So they'll click on the maps to try to find the closest person. But if you're looking for a plumber, you don't really care who's right next door. You're looking for availability and cost, right? How much are you and how soon can you get here, right? Very, very different. Not a lot of people click on maps. Maps are great when it applies, but still, often it doesn't. There's like 10 or 12 choices, you're going to eeny, meeny, miny, moe somebody. Most of them are going to lose you. So most of the hits, about 85%, are organic for most things. So out of 65 visitors to the page, there might be 55 organic clicks. That brings us to this. Out of the organic clicks, where are you? Where you are, I'm just going to use a very simple concept here, okay? You don't know what percentage of those 55 organic clickers is going to want to choose you, okay? And not everyone will. I mean, some people, if they're just looking for the kind of information you could get real fast in a drop down on Google, Google will credit, whoever's got the right questions up there. But the fact of the matter is they didn't come to your website. They just got the answer right off the page without having to click anything, which is great because part of the research we get to do is percentage of people who click any result. And in the case of accident attorneys, very often, even if people start off not clicking things, they're just looking at information, they're going to have to choose an attorney. And they want to read the information, so they start clicking on a website. They're going to choose from what they see. Usually it's going to be one of the top 10 for the keyword that they're on. So let me just make this very, very simple. If you were in the number 1 position, okay, expect to get about 10 hits a month. Number 2 position, 9. Number 3, 8. All the way down to number 10, you get 1. Why am I saying this? Is this true? No, not necessarily. But the concept is the higher you are when people start reading, they're probably going to say, oh, I'm already convinced on one of these guys here. Probably that one, that kind of thing, right? The guy in number 10 spot, not going to get that many clicks. The number 9 spot, not that many clicks. They're visible, they'll probably get some. Just not as many as the guys at the top, right? I want to just be clear. The reason for the breakdown is this. I want to really make it obvious how important it is to decide that you want multiple pages on the front page. So if you think, wow, 55 people to the keyword and I'm in the number, 7 position, I'm going to get what, like 20 of the clicks? No. And even then it was like 65 clicks to the keyword. Yeah, but after the PPC and maps, probably 55 in the organics. You're in the number 1 position. So out of the 65, came to the keyword, you might get 4 clicks. Okay? How much effort and time are you putting in for the 4 clicks? And could you have done work in parallel? Could you have also shown up nearby? Could you get from 4 to 4 plus 3 plus 5? See? That becomes huge, doesn't it? That's more than double your income if you just were on the 4 alone. Okay, take a look at this. I want to make this clear. All right, say you get $100 earnings from 1 in 4 clickers. So in the number 7 spot, you're getting like 7.3% of all the organic hits, right? You got 4 clicks. 1 guy buys a month. You're in this spot, 1 guy a month buys. You're making $100 a month. Okay? Well, what if you could also be here, here, and here? What if you could? Well, you're making 75 plus 100 plus 125. That's 200 a month. It's twice your income. Again, these are general purpose numbers, so these are general purpose results, but I think you get the point. It absolutely applies. The more of the results you can be on the front page of Google, the more money you get to make. It's huge. It's very important. So what if you could be all of them? What if you actually said, if I can win one, I can win them all. I can just push harder and win them all. Well, that brings you up to like $1,375 a month. Okay? More in 1 month than you would make in a year just being that result on the page, for example. You know? And even this 4, 5, 6, you make more in 1 month here than you make being the number 1 guy in half a year. Because that would be how much? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1,500. Almost. So like 5 months anyway. Okay? More than you would make up here in 5 months, you make in 1 month if you can be all of them. All right. And so I'm just making general purpose points here, right? So our websites are cheap. If you buy one, it's $295 for the year. So even if you're here making $100 a month, and let's say it takes 3 months to kick in, then that's still going to be like $900 that first month, $1,200 the next month. But it only costs you $295 a year, right? For everything, the retainer, the hosting, everything. So, except for the domain name, okay? Because you should cover that separately to keep control over it. Still, it's like, what, $10 for the domain name? $12 if you don't have a deal. So no big deal. I mean, $1 a month for the domain name, no one cares. All right, so here's the point I want to make there. I made this point. The idea is multiple obviously is way, way better. And the question, the real question is this. What is the keyword difficulty of this keyword, right? Because we're talking about one keyword. I mean, when I'm saying that our websites are $295 a year and that you're making $100 a month, I'm not talking about making $100 a month. I'm talking about making $100 a month from this one keyword, or $1,375 a month from this one keyword, if you're decked out enough to pull it off, okay? If you've got at least 10 websites on the front page, okay? Now that brings us to this. What is the keyword difficulty of the keyword, right? Because say the keyword difficulty is 10. How many websites do you need? 15, backlinking you to rank. So you need your master website, and then basically 15. You could say 14. You could say your master is one of the 15, partially because we do internal linking, which is great because Google actually counts that. It's the value of a backlink to do internal linking within your site because Google wants to reward you that much for navigation. So that plus 14 more is a stack of 15 websites, all pitching you, by the way. But if you have the lower 14 websites mentioning you, have each of those 14 have a link up to you, then what do you get? The ability to show up on keyword difficulty keywords anywhere from 0 to 10, okay? Again, not an exact science, but a very strong, proper thumb rule, okay? What if the keyword difficulty is 30? How many websites do you need? Quick. 45, right? Basically, you've got your top one and another 44 below it pointed up at you. That lets you rank for keyword difficulty of 45, okay? Or I'm sorry, of 30. 30 keyword difficulty means 45 websites. It's a little bit of a letdown. You look at the keyword difficulty and think, is that how many websites I need? No, I need another half. That's the reality check. Till you get to about 50. Once you get to 50, double the number. In other words, there's an increase, really. Keyword difficulty, very, very low. It doesn't take much. Might be a 1-to-1 relationship for the first 5 keyword difficulty. Then it starts to pull away, and now you need more websites to keep up with the keyword difficulty score. By the time you get to keyword difficulty of 50, you basically need 100 websites. By the time you want to get to like 70, you probably need more like 300 because it just keeps pulling up. It only goes up to 100. You know who sits at 100? The biggest sites there are. Airbnb, Wikipedia for topics that they're dead serious about. Whoever the biggest leader is in each thing that you're interested in, right? Those guys are at the top. The Mayo Clinic's at the top for its keywords, that have to do with health and stuff. Now, let's come back to possibilities though. Say you can win the keyword difficulty once. Then you want to get more sites in play, right? Let me show you how that looks. Site A, that's your site. It's the one you bought for $295 if you just bought one and you're trying to rank. You will rank for nothing that gets traffic. You will make no money at all if you don't get backlinks unless it's accidental. You might get a sale, but you'll rank for keywords that have a keyword difficulty of 0 to 0. Now that's what I was showing you here. Keyword difficulty even of 0 to 10 doesn't touch anything with car accident attorney. No keywords that are valuable are left that have the ability to rank without keyword difficulty. But there's magic at 0 anyway. The magic is Google doesn't really care who's there. So you're anonymous. Even if you're writing all about the topic, you'll probably show up, but there's no exact rule of thumb for why you should be the top or the bottom or something. There's no keyword difficulty. No one's searching for it. It's not got a focal point. There's no anchor holding you down or the keyword down. So it's just like that. It's totally random when you go up or down. Each day you can change. Now, let's take it up a notch. Side A, you get 9 backlinks plus that site. You bought a 10 stack from us. We did 10 websites for you. For whatever it is you wanted to sell or you ask us to choose for you, we can even hop on the phone, figure it out, and then do it. Okay? Now, you can compete for keyword difficulty from 0 to 6. For the keywords you need, anything up to a keyword difficulty of 6, you can rank on. Now, this is a site that will rank. These will not rank. These will not show up for the keyword. This one will, because these pushed it up there. Having said that, if we take 2 of these and we use them to backlink these 2, and we use these to backlink these 2, and use those to backlink these 2, and then say use those to backlink this one, what else does that do? It increases the anchor strength of these sites going up the ladder. The bottom 2 have no backlinks pointed at them, so they get nothing. They will not show up for the keywords that matter, but they made these show up at least for like a keyword difficulty of 1, maybe 2. And then between those, because especially because these are anchored a little better, then when we use those to lock these in, these can help rank for like a keyword of difficulty of say 3 or 4, right? And then with all of these running, pushing these guys up, then they can get locked in for more of a keyword difficulty 2, maybe 5, you know, and by the time you've got all these guys in play, that you can get that up to 6. So you see what's going on? You start to make it possible. Low keyword difficulty, like 1, 2, or 3 or so, you could get a few positions, okay? Higher keyword difficulty, your top sites can show up higher because they're getting pushed up by website links that have their own backlinks pointing at them. Okay, layered backlinks can push you higher on the front page for your top website or websites. Okay, let me come back to this. I know it's kind of long, but I hope it's exciting because I'm tying together something massive. Now I'm going to make you a really cool offer. It's crazy cool. All right, so check this out. Let's do the same thing. Side A with nothing, side A with 9 backlinks. Now we got side A with 24 backlinks, so it's a 25 stack. It's one of the packages we offer also. 25 websites, right? Now you're competing on a keyword difficulty of 0 to 16, okay? And mainly we're talking about this site. This model was basically built suggesting that all of these are backlinking this one and that we're not necessarily backlinking through any of these at all, although we are going to. We're going to do that, like I said, that swap, swap, swap routine, and then make sure that all the bottom ones point at the top one. Okay, in this case, that's how that would act. All right, so you're actually going to probably get a little bit higher for keyword difficulty, but you will certainly get higher on the front page from doing this grouped, layered backlinking, pushing you up. So even if you don't get higher keyword difficulty, you'll go from being like number 7 on the page to like number 3 on the page because of what we're doing with those sites. Now, let's take it further. Side A, we said keyword difficulty of 32. So what do you think that means? Probably 50, basically? Yeah. So you got like 50 websites for a keyword difficulty up to like 32. By the way, don't confuse that. By the time we said keyword difficulty of 50, we need like 100 websites, okay? So you get that point. Now, that's huge because we're going to go back and look at what's possible for each website we push up there. But the last thing I want to make sure you understand before I do it is this cool monster right here. And, oh, the last 2. What if you wanted to rank 2 websites instead of 1? Like you want this guy to get up for a keyword difficulty of 50. So we need all of this to do that. We need all of these backlinks to make it possible for this site to rank for a keyword difficulty of 50. What about that one? Do we need another 100 websites? No. We can use the same 100 websites to push them up to be that competitive. And different pages on these sites. Each of these sites is going to have like 50 to 100 pages on it. Okay? And so one of the pages will point at site A, like page 8. Another page, like 37, for a different topic, will point to a different page of site B. Either the home page or some deeper level page of site B. Okay? And it'll be a related, sensible keyword link. Okay, matching anchor text to the page name kind of thing. Okay, sensible, solid, clear backlinking. So do you get the idea? There's the foundation and the layer at the top that we want to rank, and we have all this foundation shove up the guys at the top, and that's the way to win, and we can do it. Not just that, but these aren't just backlinks like from directories and some Yelp pages with no page authority. I mean, they're full-scale websites that we control. So not only do they backlink the top guys, but they pitch the top guys. They literally, we don't need to pitch our competitors. It's not like a directory that's got links for everybody. If you land on one of our websites, they are only leading our way. You know, the phone numbers and stuff point our way. All the backlinks point our way. Anything anyone can do on the site points our way. So if you think that this is the foundation, great big foundation to run this thing up to the top, that's the way that goes. So like site A, site B, we could have a site C. We can shove them up to get them up for a keyword difficulty 0 to 50 and therefore be showing up multiple times on the same pages. Now, here's where we're going. And here's what's huge, especially if you think nationwide, okay? Check this out. We can have the same 100 websites down here, okay, backlinking through and on their way up. You know, this one can create links to them and them and them and them and them. That one can create links to them and them and them and them and them. This one can create links to them and them and them and them and them. And what about those guys? They can create links to some of these guys. These guys can create links to some of those guys. We know how to do it, but it's one way. It's not reciprocal. Reciprocal is okay, but for shoving up rank, you go one way. Can we do a little reciprocal linking in there anyway as well? Sure, because we have so many pages per site, like 50. So yeah, we can just have random cases. This can link to there, which has some links back to there. It's perfectly fine. The way we run it out, it's going to come out natural because of the way we build the programming into the buttons and the fact that we can literally do the queries across all the sites to see the patterns that we made and make adjustments however we want. So we're going to do it. And what's going to happen is this. These guys right here are going to show up. Why did I color code them from like a light blue to a heavy blue and a light green to a heavy green? I'm assuming that one of these is going to be in position 10 for the keyword. One's going to be in position 9 for the keyword. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? In other words, try to picture that. It's like the front page, keyword by keyword by keyword by keyword by keyword. Everything we go after and shove up. Okay? Up to the keyword difficulty of 50. Because that's about as high as we're going to get. Right? We're going to see how high that goes here in a minute. But when I was on the other tab and talking about this, that is the idea of what we built here by using them. All right? By using them. Okay? All right. So, assuming that we can win keywords 10 times, up to 10 times. Now, it doesn't mean that Google's just going to give it to us every single time we want, but we're going to saturate. We're going to get 10 where we can get 10. Where we cannot get 10, we'll get 9. Where we cannot get 9, we'll get 8. Where we cannot get 8, we'll get 7. But we are going to push it out across all the keywords that are important up through the keyword difficulty that matters. How much money does that make us? Well, let's go take a look again and see what it takes. So, keyword difficulty 0 to 10. Nothing happened, right? Let's try differently. Let's try like 15. Boom. Oh, at 15, we start to break some ground here. You see the difference? 0 to 10 means we need up to like 15 websites backlinking us, 14 say. And we would get nothing No money, no sales, no visitors, no traffic. But the moment we cross that line and we get up to let's say 22 websites backlinking us, this happens. We can be up here once, twice, three, maybe 10 times. What's possible? If you're up 10 times, you can get as much as all the organic volume, right? So there is organic clicks and paid clicks. When there's not a lot, then you can't really tell what's what. There's just not enough data to know. But like I said, most of it's going to be informational because people don't like to click a smiley face that their lawyer. You want to know a little about your lawyer before you choose. You don't want to choose them because they're smiling at you. All right, check this out. 12% paid clicks, 88% organic on car accident attorney in Indiana, which gets 14,500 searches a month. And remember, we figured that out. 209,909 crashes in the Hoosier State in 2021. Injuries, 30,109, right? Unbelievable. Isn't that just insane? Okay. I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy. So, where was I? There's so many things to take a look at. Look at this. Car accident attorney Albuquerque with a ranking difficulty of 27 only. There are only 11 home pages up here even, that might deal with the name, the domain name. But look at this. 0 keywords in title. Not one of the top 10 results, and I think this actually goes down through 50, has exactly, it's probably the top 10. Not one has that exact phrase in the title. There's only one keyword in the URL. If you're the number one guy, 24, and you're getting 24 monthly clicks, okay? Organically, these are organic clicks, okay? And this is data pulled from Google. This is what's happening. It's worth about $172,000. In other words, to get those 24 monthly clicks, if you were not on the front page, you would have to be paying something like that in terms of PPC costs in order to get those clicks. That's what that means. It means to get the same clicks but pay for the ads, you're paying $172K. You know what that means? Each click is worth over $7,000. Now, they adjust that for the organics, but so if you're not converting every guy, then that's $7K in a click that you're losing. So you're going to want to really get that down, aren't you? But that's huge. I don't care if it's half the number in reality. But you know what's funny? No keywords in the title, one keyword in the URL means that the domain diversity is 99%. It's literally all over the place. Google kind of said, well, anyone with a domain strength that's reasonable, we'll just throw you up there if you've got anything kind of similar because we don't see anything exact. Car accident attorneys, Albuquerque. But we can achieve it and it's worth a lot of clicks. What if we get it more than once? Because the ranking difficulty is only 27. What if we could get it for 24 plus 12 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5, right? Or anything like, I don't care if all we could get is 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6, right? Because it's over $7,000. A click worth to these guys. Which means if we're recording the calls and sending them through and seeing what these guys are talking about, we can decide where to aim the cost for these things, and we can even just compare it to stuff like the PPC costs, right? Man, let me go back because I want to keep going with this. So far, we only hit one cost per click keyword, $4.57. So who knows? Maybe these things, who knows what they could sell for, but we can record the calls and figure it out quick, right? Still, let's say you were up in Indiana, then that one applies to you. Car accident attorney in Indiana, that one applies to you. Indianapolis, okay? And that's it. The other ones don't. South Carolina, Minneapolis, Iowa, Buffalo, New York, Vermont. That's why I'm saying I'm switching up what's going on. For those of you that want to participate, you can take a jump up from your county to a nationwide pool where the guys who take that jump, okay, it's a jump. I need you to make that jump if you want in on this. But if you do that, then you're going to be in the pool that gets an equivalent share of based on how much total they've put into their DML positions. Okay? Totally huge. Let me keep going though. We only got to a keyword difficulty of 15. Okay? And like I said, we're adding 100 websites to the stack that are already quite old. Okay, they've been around for a long time, like a year. We're adding them in, okay? And I know that there are hits that have happened through that stack. Individual calls have come through in that stack. So what we're going to do now is take all of those splintered pieces, because they never did backlink each other, and we're going to smartly knit the whole stack together through everyone in such a way that we're going to maximize these returns. So the question is, do you just want to return in your area? Like if you're, let's say, you're in Buffalo, New York, right? Then this 110 applies to you, okay? And other keywords for Buffalo, New York. Okay, we haven't even touched car accident lawyer. So far, we're just looking at attorney. It's insane because we're going to do all this, okay? Now, check this out. This is called takeover, guys. This is not a joke. Being able to work at this level is more web savvy than everyone else nationwide, as far as I'm aware. And our ability to do it is amazing because we put so much effort into the website controls and the fact that we get to remote control hundreds to thousands of websites a day. You know, and they're always updated. They're always perfect. Now, let me take this further. Say it wasn't a keyword difficulty of up to 15. Say we go up to 20. I want to just keep doing this, right? Look at the cost per clicks. Look at that. At 20, in other words, 30 websites in play alone. $170 cost per click. Volume is 155 clicks per month. Or searches per month for San Bernardino car accident attorney. Okay. Not enough data to separate, but say it's like, I don't care if you say, like 15%. Okay. I just want to make this clear. If we have 155 searches and we say 15% go to the ads and who knows what goes to the maps, probably none of the maps, honestly. Then we're going to say like times 0.85. That's what I was using anyway for the organics. That's like 130 searches a month for the organics, clear. So if we have 100 searches a month for the organics, and let's say out of them times, let's say 90% click through to somebody, and like all of them have to click through to somebody if they're actually looking. That's 90 who click on something. And let's say because the cost per click is 170, let's say we're selling these, we're forwarding the calls through, and they're paying us 150 for the incoming call, or even if we want to make it 100 just to beat everybody. That's 90 times 100. 9,000 a month. 9,000 a month goes into the pool that gets shared by the nationwide guys. Okay? And that's just for San Bernardino car accident attorney. Then we got Jacksonville, Florida, Baton Rouge. See why I want to make a pool for everybody? Because when I have you guys in your own areas, I have to spin all the plates, right? I have to check in on each one of you. And I know that going into the whole nation was hard. Of course it was hard. But we've grown a lot since then. We've figured out a lot of new stuff out since then. We've improved our tools since then. And we're inventing stuff like this cross-linking and improving upon it to keep up with what we need. And we hadn't even thought about this stuff before. Before it was how many websites. Now it's not that. It's how do you tie the websites together for the keyword difficulty improvements, which is absolutely insane. We went through it all. So I don't even know where to. I mean, I'm freaking everywhere on this stuff. Okay, so what happens if we go higher? What if it is a keyword difficulty of 20? Let's say 30. I want to jump real quick. We need like 45 sites, right? For a keyword difficulty of 30? Maybe a little more. Look at that. Cost per click, $500. 190 clicks. No geo-targeting at all. Nationwide, right? There's the car accident attorney Albuquerque. The actual cost per click here is $283. That's the cost per click, okay? Keyword difficulty at 27. Volume of 150. I'm not sure why their math is so high on what the clicks are supposed to be worth. They're not comparing it exactly to what the cost per click would be. They're comparing it to the value based on the probable sale or something. I don't know. It's probably what the guy makes on the deal, revenue. But if we were to compare, we want to compare it to this stuff because those guys know what they're having to pay to market. And what we can do is lower their cost per click for the same amount of quality traffic. Okay? And by recording the calls, we can make sure we only charge them for quality. You know how many people are going to click their link and vanish and they have no idea whether they were serious? Whether they were even... If I go click on one of those guys' ads right now, if I click this thing right now, I'm costing somebody money. If I click this, I am costing them money. If I click this, I'm costing them money. If I open that and open that and open that and that and that, because I want to see what each of them have to say, the total amount of money spent by those guys makes Google rich, right? Wow, you know how nervous these guys have to be sometimes being up here, wondering if they're going to make the ends meet? Because when people click and don't buy, they've got to add those costs to the next guys who do buy, who do hire them. They got to make back all the lost click money plus the click money for the guys who said yes. We can offer a better deal. Does that make sense? It's crazy. What do we do? Go up to 30? Let's go up to 40. Okay? There's some point where it doesn't seem to add value anymore. Matter of fact, right about here. If I sort for keyword difficulty of 40 at the highest, right? Or 38 it turns out. Then the cost per click's not even necessarily better. Volume's not necessarily better. But the advantage of 40 over 30 is total volume. We've got 129 keywords now at almost 50,000 a month for volume. What were we at with 30? Oh, almost the same. You know what that means? They're capping out right around there for keyword difficulty. You know how beautiful that is for us? Let me look at keyword difficulty of 50. You know what that means? None of these guys compete harder than that. Look at that. There's not even necessarily a value up here. There's nothing new happening at the high keyword difficulty level. You know what that means? And I love this. It means that we can really do it. That this is it. It caps out at a level where we can just play and literally start to overwhelm. Take our share of the organic clicks, the 80%, 85% that happens for all the volumes here nationwide, and we can take it all. I mean, it's a terrific amount of, it's 50,000 anyway, and it's certainly within reach. And this is the coolest thing. For those of you who don't know, I did this the other night. I said, see, I want to take the keywords within my keyword difficulty, and I want to download the list of these keywords, which I can do. I can export all, clip the keywords, copy the keywords to a clipboard. I just want to show you how easy it is for us. Okay, boom. Guess what? I can run these keywords through GPT, and I actually am able to do it on our own site anyway. And you know what I can ask it? Create page titles for this keyword. Create page titles for the keyword. If I got 100 websites, create 100 totally different page titles up to 18 words each that include this exact phrase. And then do it with this, and then do it with that. You know why? We're going to put that 100 pages through 100 sites plus another 100 pages through 100 sites plus another 100 pages through 100 sites. We can write pages for all of these, and we can even split them into service areas and make it make sense in terms of structured pages with drop downs and stuff. For some of it, popular keywords; for others, interlinks in the paragraphs for the rest. And we can do it across all the websites we want. Nationwide control comes out of that. Look at this. This is so funny. I said what I say at the top. Create 10 web page titles that use this exact phrase and contain no more than 18 words. And I gave it a phrase. Car accident attorney Albuquerque. It gave me 10 but missed one. So it gave me a revised list. Look at that. Expert car accident attorney Albuquerque, protecting your rights. See, that's the exact keyword. Trusted car accident attorney Albuquerque, fighting for you. The best car accident attorney Albuquerque, get compensation now. Car accident attorney Albuquerque, no win, no fee guarantee, which we may use or throw out depending on, who we have in the list, whether anyone offers that. The rest of this is just protecting your rights, fighting for you, get compensation now, consultation available, trust our experience. They're pitches, right? Yeah, everything's here. 24/7 availability for your needs. I might throw it out. I can always have it write more. I can have it write hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Remember what we looked at? The SERP for car accident attorney Albuquerque? No keywords in the title. You know how important it is to put the keyword in your title if you want to win the keyword? We're up against lawyers who are not that web savvy. So this is insanely easy for us to go ahead and organize and do. Okay. And the amount of money that comes out of just selling these phone calls off to these guys, right? We start going through the lead networks who operate nationwide so we can create nationwide style websites. The top 10, they're going to be nationwide, and they'll have pages that pick out our favorite cities and stuff. Because, we have favorite cities and stuff. So we get to do that. We get to have websites that have specialized pages for each of these things. Phone number pointing it into the lead network. Now, you know what that means? You guys don't need to have different forwarding phone numbers for your own county. You get to have the one forwarding phone number that goes for the whole nationwide network. You don't have to hope that you're getting a bunch of hits off your county. You get to be in on the earnings that happen throughout the entire nation. And because I'm pulling you together like that instead of separating you, which just me learning, it's really me learning, the amount of volume, 50,000 a month that we can aim for. And it's not just that there's 50,000 where we get our share of it. Like if we were in position number 7 on average, then it wouldn't be 50,000, would it? It'd be like 3,000, 3,500. No, we're aiming for multiple positions on the front page. If we win half of all the positions on all these front pages, because the keyword difficulty is within our reach, the volume is certainly worth it. We looked up which keywords to care about. Not too many paid clicks. 92 organic versus 8% paid. 92% of these 360 clicks are organic. Car accident attorney, New Mexico. Probably like Indiana, a whopping number of accidents and injuries. So pooling makes the most sense, right? That's what I want to point out. Okay, you know what else? I want to point something else out too, because it really, really matters. If you guys want to take this step up to nationwide, which you should, because the money's going to be through the roof as we pull this thing up. The share that comes off of this is insane. As a matter of fact, I'll do you a favor. I'll literally reset the timer for the year, right? Meaning you can earn as much as you can get your hands on all year long, to right now. For those of you coming in nationwide, you get to reset the timer, and that means a year, with all of these domains that have been festering and growing from the run we did latest, plus the ones coming in from a year ago, because that guy realizes the value of mixing his websites into the mix to get the backlinking structure. So we're going to benefit him on some of his websites, while some of his other websites benefit us. It's not going to be reciprocal. It won't be reciprocal. It'll be stacks through stacks through stacks, but everybody benefits. And our websites at the top here, the nationwide run, it's through the roof. Okay, why do you want to come in now? Because this is the last chance I'm going to offer this. Literally, this is just for like the next week or so. I really want to give you guys the right idea. What about drug rehab? So not only are we doing this for like car accident attorney and car accident lawyer and personal injury attorney, personal injury lawyer, I haven't even gone through all the keywords yet. I'm going through a single sample, one angle of the very, very, very many. Okay? Don't think that your income's even limited to what I've been showing you. It's not. It's way more than that. But what else do we have? Drug rehab. Keyword difficulty of 0. Let's see. Keyword difficulty of 10. And there we go. Keyword difficulty 0 to 10, right? So if you ever made a website and you aim for keywords and you never won them before, now you've got more insight as to why not, right? It's like, what does it take? Why do you need more websites? Some people say this: I get one website, when I see results, I'll go for more. That pretty much rules out 95% of everyone who gets a website. They basically don't come back because they saw nothing on their first one. And so they thought, it's broken. No, it's not broken. Not even close. You just didn't try hard enough to get popular, to get other websites voting for you, right? Let's try something better now. Like, say we did push it, right? Say we go for a keyword difficulty of 20. Oh, what did we do? 15 last time? So you need like, I don't know, 25 sites, 22, something like that. Ooh, you start getting something, right? Here we go. This one's even got a cost per click of $37.50, even though the keyword difficulty is just 15, for 260 clicks. Okay. Couples drug rehab. That's got to happen to a lot of them. That's a worthwhile keyword. Okay. And then look at these. Keyword difficulty at 13. Pet friendly drug rehab. Okay. Forget about it. Drug rehab SEO. Forget about that. Drug rehab lead generation. That's for us. All right. So the only keyword in this case that would relate to our uses is couples drug rehab. I mean, I can exclude keywords like pet, okay? Apply. I can exclude keywords like SEO, apply. And generation, I guess. No, I go for lead. Apply and leads, okay? I love this. My ability to actually just hone this in and know what to go after. All right, now let's take this up a notch. Keyword difficulty, let's go to like 20 and see what we see there, right? 11 keywords with over 2,370 searches already at this level, okay? So we know what we need to do to make this happen, right? And look at this. I mean, these are cost per clicks, are way off the charts for some of this. There's 90-day drug rehab without insurance, drug rehab for couples, drug rehab, average cost and drug rehab. Yeah, I mean, look at the volume on this, right? What if I just want to do keyword difficulty and just shove it up? I'm going to do 40 right now. Okay. 43,500 results from 211 keywords. And they're all over the place. Drug rehab, Hollywood, Fayetteville, Rochester, New York, Anchorage, Youngstown, Durham, Kansas City. Look at this. Unbelievable. And I haven't even gotten to the alcohol rehab, listings too, because that also exists, right? My gosh. I mean, all of this is capable, man. Do you see that? And it's all within range. Okay? So, what does it take for you to partake and actually have a hand in both pots? Okay? This is the offer. All right, so the offer is this. You come to Decrypt My Leads, and you get any position that's at least $3,000. That is the equivalent of population being about 1 million. It's actually just a little over that. It's kind of the same thing. There really isn't anything in the middle. So, anything $3,000 I'm fine with. What that does is give us the room we need to create all those different pages for all those different categories spread across all those different websites, including getting new websites into play on the alcohol and drug abuse rehab, because we don't have as many websites there as we do on the accident attorney side. I need to catch that up to get the numbers up and get that going. But the fact of the matter is, if you're buying into that now, you're in both pots. That means you get 2 for the price of 1. Buy one, get one free. Why? Because accident attorneys and addiction recovery are the same offset and come to the same prices for the same population. Okay? So you're buying one, getting one free, but the moment you come in with an extra $3K, we add it to what you've already put into the positions, which we're already tracking. If you log in, you'll see. And that raises your total investments to a point where I can do this nationwide and cover you guys. Okay? It's at once a big ask, but that's why there's a big video explaining the big win, because the amount of money off of this is off the charts. We're aiming for literally as many front page spots as possible on all those low-hanging fruit keywords, and we're going to write pages that tailor to every one of those page titles, meta descriptions, H1 tags, keywords with a volume, with a keyword difficulty, all within range. Okay? So we know where to spend our time. We know where not to spend our time. We know how to sort by location. We know how to create the backlinks through the structure going in the one direction uphill, but nicely variated. And we're going to create domain authority along the way up for layers. Okay? So all these websites, some of them can compete at the keyword difficulty 50 level, some for the 45, some for the 40, some for the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Okay? But all of them in play. So we're going to have more of the front page spots for the lower keyword difficulties naturally, fewer at the tippy top, but still multiple to perhaps all for many of those keywords. But it doesn't matter. It's not like the money paid goes up over the keyword difficulty. I mean, the money we get paid in terms of just more leads to sell, yeah. But if someone's looking for drug rehab, whether they happen to come in through a keyword that doesn't have much keyword difficulty, or they happen to come in through a keyword that has a lot of keyword difficulty, for them it's the same way. They type some keyword that came to mind. Okay? On the other end of the spectrum, maybe the drug abuse rehab center is paying more for ads, but they're charging the same to the guy. And the guy's just as equally able to pay it or not as somebody who typed the higher or the lesser keyword difficulties. It's just humans. They're not segregated by their keyword difficulty. We're the guys in the middle who are. But we can do it. And so we're at this point now where it's time to play ball and to make it the most value humanly possible for all of you. It's time for you guys to help us by taking a step up for nationwide. Okay? Nationwide. I mean, instead of buying all these positions, right? You're able to take a step up. And it adds whatever you paid before. Maybe you did pay, whatever you, I'm in the addiction recovery. I was thinking, what the heck? Yeah. Position's already claimed by somebody else. Whoever has that, okay, means 31K or so in, they get to add this 3K to it. Okay? Whoever's got all their position, whatever your positions are that you already bought, you're just adding whatever you're paying now into it. If you want to come in with 6K, come in with 6K. 3K is the bottom end. But the reason is, the higher you come in, the greater your share of the pie vis-a-vis the next guy who comes in. So do what you can. It's up to you. But you can stick with your county and everything's status quo. We'll get you some backlinks, and that's good. But for those of you who just say, I'm going to take the step up because why do I want to stick with one county when I can get a cut of all the action nationwide? And the reason I'm making that switch is because the more and more I stare at the diversity of the keywords going all over the place, location-wide, the more I realize, why am I checking to make sure you're getting enough, 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 with all the work spread out, when I can just pool you, and you want that. Most of you have been asking, is there a nationwide pot? And there just never was. The idea was to keep you separated so that you wouldn't be competitive. But you know what? That pales by comparison to the idea of letting you share on the nationwide pot. Okay? All of you could come in at the 3K and take that step up, gets added to what you put in already, and I'm going to put you up, buy one, get one free into the accident attorneys and the drug and abuse rehab for all these keywords going everywhere. And we're going to nail it because we can. We can create unlimited page titles for every single one of these things and spread them through all the websites and then do our knitting. Okay? This will take us, I don't know, 2 weeks on the outside from the time we start to the time we're totally live. And sales could just start happening right off the top of that thing. Like mad. Okay? Get in, take it seriously. It's huge. All right. That was my offer. If you got any questions, give me a call. But I'm telling you, man, and if it's something like you want in, but you're a few days away and you can't get the money together right now, but you can a little later, let me know. I will cut this off at one point. And the reason why is this will become self-sustaining. This will roll over itself so easily that probably we won't even need to include anyone in to create my leads for anything else ever again. We may be able to do our takeover stuff. We get our cut. You guys get the cut. We're splitting on our end. You're splitting on yours. But the reality check is it's an insane amount of money coming out of even just two of these industries, all because we are web savvier than everyone we know, and we have better tools for pulling it off than everyone we know. We can do it. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing you get on the inside. Just get to Decrypt My Leads. If you go to claim the position, ready to claim, then it'll have you register or log in. Down here at the bottom, you can log in, right? You log in as a position holder. Boom. If you got any questions or you're having trouble logging in, let me know. It says phone. I know there should be a phone number for this thing, right? And whatever your password is, blah, blah, blah. If you have trouble, let me know. Okay, we'll arrange it. I'll make sure you're set up in there. Even if you make a payment on the outside, I'll set you up with a position on the inside. All that stuff's been built, and we can even add websites to lists, but this nationwide thing makes a lot more sense. Okay, letting you know. Those of you who take it, you know what they said about Microsoft is when they first got going, they offered stock options or a Christmas bonus. Everyone took the stock options. You can bet it's because the guys in charge really suggested don't play games. That's how you had a picture of the gardener standing outside of his Ferrari in the gardens, right? I'm not saying I'm Bill Gates. I'm not. But what I am saying is this right here makes the most sense ever. And it's huge. And if you hop in, you can ride this wave, and it's a much better wave than we started with. It makes a lot more sense to do it this way. Putting all the eggs in one basket and then pushing everything in that direction makes it the easiest thing in the world for me to take care of all of you. So you're taking care of me to make it possible for me to take care of all of you, and this is the right way to go. Okay, I really hope all of you get in and get rolling, and this will just be up for a few days, and then I'll be able to close it out. Probably by the time 20 of you are in, that's it. I'll close it. If you're brand new, get in, get going. Do something for at least 3K. That's good. If you're in for less than the 3K, I still need a 3K payment from you, okay, to up it. Because why? I need a certain amount of pooling to cover the size of the guys who step in to know I can cover each of you for a big share of a nationwide bucket, okay? That means create new content, new stuff right now, get more sites going right now, and it's a question of how many of you want to ride that wave. And so the bigger you give me, the bigger I give you back, because the market's insane. All right, you saw it. I showed you everything that you need to know. Got any questions, let me know. But get in, get going. All right, talk to you soon.